Sunnahfollowers, protectors of the Sunnahfollowers, protectors of the Sunnah.
Ina alhamdulillah, wa salat, wa salam Allah, wa rasulullah. Welcome to another session of our Hadith class. And we're almost at the end of the book entitled 55 Hadiths on Islamic Behavior and Discipline by Sheikh Muhammad Saeed Atli. Please make sure you visit his website at atlionline.com and pick up your copy of this book today. And let's read the hadith for today, which I think is hadith number 57 or 58. Go ahead.
58. Importance of caring for earth. Anas bin Malik reported, the messenger of Allah, peace be upon him, said, if the hour starts to happen in the hand of one of you, is it palm, shoot, or seeding? If he is able to plant it before the hour happens, then let him plant it.
Okay, this hadith is dealing with how, again, the last deed that we do can determine where our ultimate return will be, whether we will be in paradise or hell. And one of the best acts of deeds that we can do, or the best actions that we can do, is to plant a tree or a plant. Because if you plant a tree, this will be ongoing charity for you after death, because this is something that brings about good to the rest of Allah's creation, to the ants, to the bugs, to the people. So every time a creature eats from that tree, every time a human being sits underneath that tree, every time one of the jinns sit underneath that tree for shade, you get reward because you were the one that planted it. So that's why the prophet said, you know, when the last hour comes to you, and remember, the last hour comes to all of us when the angel of death pulls our soul from our throat. So if you're sick or feel like you may not be here much longer, and we're trying to, as I told you before, as we get older as Muslims, any of us who lives over the age of 30 is considered to be old. If you are over the age of 32, you are considered old. And that's when we need to start taking life serious. That's when we need to start reflecting upon our actions, our deeds, our choices. And if Allah allows you to live longer, then you need to think about, what can I do in this world that will benefit me in the hereafter? Your focus should be off of the life of this world and instead be featured on the hereafter. But unfortunately, a lot of us, we get old and we want to still say we're young. I'm 80 years young. I'm 90 years young. No, you're old. And what preparations have you made for the last hour? What preparations have you made for your death? What deeds do you have that will be ongoing charity to you while you're in that grave, getting through the questioning and the punishment? So this is why the prophet told this companion, you know, if you feel that you won't be here much longer, something that you can do that'll bring benefit to you even after death is plant a tree. Plant a tree, plant a flower. And this is why in Islam, we don't look down upon farmers. To be a farmer, this is a great dignified profession in Islam, because you're planting trees and food that others are going to benefit from long after you're gone. So this is why we don't snub our nose down on farmers and people that work in agriculture, because they're earning more benefits than any of us. Okay, so how does this hadith impact you in your personal life? Who would like to start us off and share? Just take the mic.
I want to share. How it benefits me is beautiful, of basically planting a tree or something that that will keep your deeds going on and on. With me, it's something more of me trying to have my deeds be a good thing or sign on me, is teaching my kids. Teaching my kids this religion. So basically they can go on and inshallah, they get married and continue to have the deeds from them. And also my grandchildren, they just 3 and 2. But at the same time, I want to continue to let that be something that would benefit me in the hereafter. And, just my knowledge of what I'm seeking right now to continue to give it to them. So I love it, the ongoing charity that will benefit as far as in a tree. But with me, it makes me smile because it'll benefit me with me teaching, and just not just my children, just anybody that I come in contact with.
Exactly. And that's a great example. That's a great example, guys. Ongoing charity. That's what that hadith means. When the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said a person will be raised up and to another level in paradise, and they'll ask Allah, what did I do to deserve this? And he'll say, the good deeds, the supplication, and the good deeds of your children. That's more ongoing charity. Whatever we teach, that's why we need to focus on our children. We put too much focus on the life of this world, earning all that money and having a big, beautiful home and all of that. What about your children? Are you teaching them the correct belief system? We're learning that most Muslims are not upon the correct belief system. And as a result, that means all their good deeds are in vain. You want your children to, first of all, have the correct belief system. And then you want to teach them good manners, good character, so that they can grow up to make themselves good and kind towards others. And this is ongoing charity for you, because whatever you taught them, every time they implement and every time they share it with someone else, that's charity for you too. That's charity that you will get in your grave and be raised up higher, even when you're in your grave. Good job, Amina. Any other comments?
I would like to share.
Okay.
I have often thought about the fact of, and I have told my children, I've told other people that I want to leave something behind. And when I would say that, I explained it by telling them I would like to leave something behind that other people can grow on, and that will strengthen them, that will make it their something that can be useful, maybe for centuries, long after I'm gone. It may not change the world, but even if it's just one person that stumbled upon it, this story or this knowledge that can be so helpful to another person's life, that it makes them want to strengthen others by sharing it. And by doing that, you're leaving something positive, something behind that children and adults can grow from long after you're gone. Something that can be useful, a tool, a spiritual tool that can be so useful in this life. That's all.
Okay, thank you. Go ahead, Sister Mayleon.
I was gonna say, I love how Allah is so merciful, and He allows us to not only fulfill our regular obligations, but just go the extra mile to get closer to Him. And I think it's important to remind young kids or just youth that prayer and fasting are not the only way to go to paradise. There's multiple different ways. It really depends on what you're capable of doing, like the Prophet said, and something that you can regularly do and something that you actually enjoy doing.
Exactly, guys. A lot of Muslims think that Islam is just based on prayer and fasting. Oh, just pray and fast, pray and fast. A lot of people can't do all that voluntary prayer because of their health. A lot of people can't even do a lot of voluntary fasts because of their health. But there's other things, like she said, that we can do. Good deeds are not just limited to praying and fasting, helping your neighbor, helping a person in need, planting a tree, a flower, sweeping the sidewalk so no one trips and fall, picking up a stick that's lying in the street, picking up paper off the street, helping a bird that's stuck in a tree, feeding a cat, feeding the birds, feeding the ducks. There's so many things we can do, besides praying and fasting, because good deeds are not just limited to those things, and that's something that we need to reflect upon and teach our children too, because a time may come where you can't do all. It's hard enough to to fast Ramadan. It's hard enough for a lot of us to just do those 5 daily prayers. We struggle with that. Well, there's something else I can do. I can feed a bird, plant a tree, sweep the ground, help my neighbor, help my parents, help somebody in need, teach somebody how to recite the Fatiha correctly. So again, yes, Allah is very merciful to us. We just make Islam hard on ourselves. Are there any other comments? Okay, I'd like to thank everybody for joining and participating in this session of our Hadith class. Let me remind everybody that tomorrow is Friday, so we do have the Juma Khutbah. I will broadcast Juma Khutbah here to the website at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And also we have Understanding the Quran with Dr. Asim. Now, I don't know if Dr. Asim's going to be allowed to participate tomorrow or not, because, he had that heart attack. But I think he's trying. But his doctor has the final word. But don't worry, even if he can't, I will be here to substitute. And we will continue with the meaning of the second verse of Surah Al-Ikhlas. Okay. And also tomorrow we have my class on belief in Allah. So a lot of lectures tomorrow. Make sure that those of you on Facebook go to the Sunnahfollowers group page, click on the featured events, and that'll give you the schedule of all the classes for this weekend. And finally, don't forget, it's also the first of the month. We're always in need of donations to cover our website expenses. If you enjoy learning Islam and its truthfulness and want to benefit from this will be more ongoing charity. Please donate to support this website, because your donations is what keeps us online, and you get the reward that I get for teaching. Whatever reward Allah gives me for teaching his religion this way, you will be rewarded for it too, because without you, I wouldn't be able to do this. So please go to our website at sunnahfollowers.net, click on the button that says make a donation, and donate to support this dawah effort. You can also Zelle us at layla@sunnahfollowers.net too. So I'm closing out on Facebook for tonight, but we're live in the Zoom room. Feel free to join us. Subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika, ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta, astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk.